Hello and welcome back. Today we're playing Victoria 3 as Syria here. Last episode was a relatively chill episode up to the point where this front bugged out and gave me a brain aneurysm. Very frustrating war mechanic where guys just get randomly unassigned from fronts, and it causes your entire thing to brick, like you have to babysit your front. But other than that, pretty good. This episode we will be probably trying to take this little patch of land from Austria, and when we do it, we will be, being attentive to one particular thing, which is that war goals cannot tick below 0 unless you have got all of the war goals. And so what we will probably be doing is having this be our only war goal for Sinai. That way we can land it very easily, get a ticking score, and we won't have to push into Austria. Pushing into Austria is actually incredibly difficult unless your military is just way stronger, because you have to push through all this mountainous terrain. It just takes forever. Currently, I think both of us are on trench as far as tech goes, which is also a nightmare for trying to push anything. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, he's on trench, and I think I'm on trench, so when the two trenches meet, it's bad news bears, bad times. So, yeah, I think we added a whole bunch to the queue, or we have a whole bunch in the queue. This couldn't have left it on this. Why are all our construction centers not steel frame? That's not right. They should also be steel frame, but we don't really, for the objective of this run, we don't really need to keep... we don't need to have the construction super high. Although, optimally speaking, I think you should just always be expanding construction up until the point where it lags your computer out. Or I guess before that. I guess the thing that makes it so you should stop expanding construction is meta level considerations. The types of considerations where you're like, what have I done with my life? Why am I doing this? Is this game even fun anymore if I have 15,000 people? That's really annoying timing. Because we can't start our own war, because now this little... I guess I didn't pause instantly. That's fine, though. We still have decaying infamy, so this isn't the worst. Bahrain has rebelled 15 times now. But we are getting so close to the objective of this run, which is forming Syria with all of... Here, we gotta go to cultures. Sorry, not Arabia. We already have Syria. Forming Arabia with everything. I think we might be going naughty to do this. I kind of don't want to, but we might have to in order to get Egypt in here. We are damaging relations with Egypt to try and bring them down. We can, of course, get them way down, because the thing is we will not be able to protectorate them, even if they stop defending the borders, unless they change their government. And so we will either be just straight up vassalizing them or force changing their government for them. This type of thing. I really wish when you full occupied someone, they just automatically capitulated. I think this would be a great improvement to the game. I really hate that you have to, we're going to have to wait, what is this? -12, so that's going to take 7 weeks just to get them to capitulate after we've there's no, it's literally, from a mechanics perspective, I don't even think it's possible for them to enforce on us, so this type of thing. We are trying to protectorate Iraq. We are just waiting on a, what is it called, an obligation. I'm keen to see if protectorate is satisfactory. So for nation formation, if you have someone as a subject, that's fine. So you see we have Oman as a subject, that's fine. All these will become part of a nation, and I want to see if protectorate is sufficiently fine. We get an obligation from Iraq right on time, so we will protectorate them. We will use the obligation. It will give us 3.5 infamy. So the base value is 5, and it is modified by great power, unrecognized power, which is great. When I've been making a few videos, I haven't been somewhat recently, I haven't been as in tune to what the exact value of this is, so that's kind of why I checked it out. We will use the obligation, and we will puppet them. And after they click yes, we will get to answer our question that we had. They answer the demand, so let's go in cultures and let's see if this is sufficient. It's not sufficient, so we do have to puppet them after protectorating them, which is fine. We will start damaging relations so that we can do that a little bit faster. So with Egypt, it's going to be a little bit awkward. because so we have to get both Hejaz and Egypt. Khwarizmid State is another one we can go for. They are a subject of Russia. So we might go for this war once this thing finishes. Oh, I'm sorry, it won't take 7 weeks. It takes 14 weeks. I forgot you have to run 200% total. So 14 weeks, you know, nearly half a year after you have fully occupied the enemy, it still takes. A little bit ridiculous. Frankly, ridiculous. We, of course, are... we're floating about 1 million surplus here, because it's this number plus this number. Buildings are very, very, very profitable. Suppose we'll expand all this, and then play a little bit of whack-a-mole. Of course, we did all that when we expanded the queue initially, but you see stuff like this, and you can fix it. We are hoping to get a bit more infrastructure from the rural folk becoming happy with us, but they are currently not happy with us. That is going to take quite a bit of infrastructure for that. Yeah, our lines just look so nice. Just like straight up. That's without even like, we could straight up double construction right now, I think up to 6K. We're floating 1 million extra, so we could double construction. We'd be paying more on this as well as government goods, but then I mean, we certainly could go to 5K, but I think we just deficit spend from there. And I think this would be like really, really super fine. But also a bit unnecessary. So we will set these new ones to auto-expand. And throw down some rails. We get Bahrain, so I will pause so we can't have another thing raised. Or another play cannot start against us, so we will get our war off. And then I think... Now, why can't I declare war on you? We have a truce? I don't see our flag in there. They owe an obligation to us. We are damaging relations. Why can we not conquer the state? Let us go into the diplomatic lens, go to diplomatic place, go to conquer state, and then hover over here, and it should tell us why. We're both part of the same diplomatic play. What play are we part of? We're not in this play. We're both part of the same diplomatic... We're not both part of the same diplomatic play, though. We're not part of the... What? We're not even part of a play. Oh, after I declare neutrality and everything, then suddenly I can't... I guess... Because I could join a play against them or something? I don't even understand why that was the case. But it's going to be Austrian something. Austrian Sinai. We will take just this, and we will not demand war reps or anything else from Austria. That way we can enforce on Austria. This is really, really important for us. And I think that if we mobilize everyone, they might even back down. Certainly if we sway someone. I think we are still not infamous. This, by the way, is just like not a war goal we would ever do without like an objective specifically like built around this, because we don't... Like, this is a lot of infamy for what we're getting. You know, it would be better to try and bust up Austria over time, and then eventually, like, look to, like, vassalize them and take it, or something like this. Industrialists are powerful, that's good. I think we're bolstering them even. Yeah, we are. So they're up to 20%, so now we're getting their bonus, their big bonus, their big bonus. We're really hoping for another feminist, because we do want to go women's suffrage, but 4% is just not enough juice unless we get like a political movement. I guess we'll mobilize everyone, because I do think this war is going to actually start. And if we mobilize everyone, they might back down. There's a chance. It's unlikely. Oh, we could call in the obligation on Egypt. I don't think we're going to use the obligation ever, because we're going to declare war on them, is the plan. So yeah, we could call it in. Just move everyone to this tiny, tiny, tiny front. We could even defend on this front and not push, and hope he just moves everyone to that front. And then land the capital. This is actually probably not what we want to do, but we can, just for trial purposes, do it, because we only have the one war goal. If we had more war goals and we had to grab his capital, putting all these on defensive, I think in this area would be a nice little trick to make it so that we do not take Sinai, so he is encouraged to put troops in Sinai. And if he puts all his troops in Sinai, it becomes much easier to land him. Solidarity gets deactivated. That's unfortunate. We do really like the level 2 bonus of the trade unionists. We could, of course, pass a law to make it so that they will probably do that, but then we lose the Industrialists bonus, unfortunately. We could even go to migration controls, which is kind of a funny one, because they would support it. And this makes it so discriminated pops can't migrate, but we have no discriminated pops. I think I actually like this. Oh, the industrialists do oppose this. Well, I guess we're gonna work on passing it, but we really don't care if it passes or not. And it does activate, because it also activates the next tier on the rural folk, and will help keep the rural folk happy, as well as the petite bourgeoisie if we were going to deficit spend, which we're kind of not. I think in the interim I worked to put a lot of rural auto production, but I didn't do it in incorporated states, because you don't generally want to do it because of landowner considerations. But I think now we can kind of probably not worry about that. We'll just fire the guy, whoever he is. He was a general. He's a big general, allegedly. Trench rat. Good modifier. Suppose we should promote some of the ones we have. The big reason why is that you have a cap of, I think, 12. Let's promote this guy. Expert offensive planner. Get some medium-sized guys in there in addition to the smaller ones. We do have tech. I don't even realize what tech we researched. It's probably been sitting there a little while, driving you, the viewer, crazy. Oh, bolt-action rifle. That was a while ago. We're gonna go automatic machine gun. But it looks like he just moved everyone to this front, right? So maybe we should have demanded more from him. It just isn't useful for as far as this run goes. Do we have have a dead admiral? Do you have a dead admiral? Gonna have to fire some of these guys. Gonna just fire the worst of these. Brave Explorer. Oh, he's a pacifist? Gross. Actually, we don't even want this interest group to be more powerful. I mean, we already promoted him, though. We're gonna keep doing it. So he gets a lion's share. And this way, our landing hopefully goes a bit better, and maybe we can push in real quick. Right quick. And then we will set this guys to push forward. Looks like the allies want to advance with their regular, like, non-trenchies. They're just gonna get wrecked. We lose our obligation with Egypt, which is fine. And back to what we were focused on before, we wanted to make sure that every place kind of has their own auto-expansion going. In regards to agriculture, which just kind of makes things easier on us. In terms of gameplay mechanics, I think we're already... Yeah, well, we can set this to auto-expand. Was this not on auto-expand? Yeah, it is. So we could make this millet. I think I don't really like that. I wouldn't mind cotton or tobacco. We don't have too many cotton places, so I'll set this one to cotton. This one I think we have on silk, basically, or we're kind of poised to do silk. So we're going to delete some of these other ones and put it on silk. It is auto-expanding already. This will just add 10. It's not fully employed or employed at all, really. But, I think it's fine. That one's kind of fine. We'll just leave it. Get rid of this. Put this on auto-expand. It's probably already on it. I guess we kind of did figure this out. Alright. Do not mind the trade unionists kind of taking up the armed forces clout. This is fine for us. Now we only, very importantly, only have to get Sinai in order to get ticking war score on him, so this is just to make things a little bit faster, so I think I will set this guy to advance front. Unfortunately, he doesn't have an offensive one. I guess I probably should have kept this guy, but whatever. The other guys can just defend. They can defend pretty comfortably. We were making a hand over fist. It just hurts me too much to not expand construction a little bit, so we'll just stick it at the back of the queue and just pretend like we like our sanity when we don't. Because I think in terms of our sanity, it's very much easier just to not expand construction. Because then we're going to want to pause and keep going, and then we're going to hate ourselves, and, you know. It's a losing battle, because we hate ourselves if we don't expand construction, and we hate ourselves when we can't keep up with it. Let's just look through what's profitable. These are pretty profitable. Let's take a look at where we have peasants that are not incorporated. I think Cordoba and Buenos Aires are both incorporated, so why don't we put down a smattering. These are very profitable, so we can put down a smattering, put them on auto-expand. And this will help to keep stuff a little bit stabler in terms of dye production. It does take up sulfur, which is the main ingredient for the synthetic plants. Piedmont Revolt is offering us a play against Sardinia Piedmont. We're going to decline because we can't even get a front with either of those guys. Let's see, motor industry is kind of profitable. We can just add a smattering, I guess. Or we can do our thing. Let's do our thing. So we're going to look, and we're going to find places we have peasants where we have not expanded an industry, where we do not currently have it. In this case, it's a Zernum. So then we're going to add it, and then click it on auto produce. So we could have added 51 to places that already have motors, or we could just add this whole new one. Of course, do want to add some of this to make it work better. Most of these problems are caused by lack of convoys, it would seem, or our convoys getting raided. Why don't we have this guy escort convoys to here? And this other guy escort convoys. Oh, he's involved in a... what? Currently engaged in battle. Patrolling the coast? Really? But this guy's landing should be way easier than if we just... oh, it's freaking terrible, though. His landing should be significantly easier as long as they have a ton of troops there. But it looks like his landing is hard either way. But we take Sinai. So now we have 100% of the war goals, or we should, and so they will get -2 because we control all the war goals. We passed migration controls, not exactly what we wanted, but I guess we're okay with it. The Industrialists are not super unhappy. These guys are all super happy, so we're picking up a whole bunch of bonuses we are fans of, as well as the Petite Bourgeoisie. So, doing it mainly for IG approval, and because it doesn't make too big a difference. I should probably look into doing that more often, but just in my head, the other one is just so much better. Chem plants, not that profitable. Tooling workshops, those kind of always good. Textile mills, alright. We'll just add a few where they have a bunch of excess labor. Paper mills. I guess we'll start building up in Aleppo. Just trying to get it closer and closer to 51. Furniture, I feel like we should expand somewhere, so we're going to find a place. Buenos Aires just has a ton of peasants, though, so let's just do this. The frontier lasts forever, indeed. Construction's up above 500. Looks like we are going to edge them out here. Industrialists somehow gain like 5 happiness in a second? Did someone die? Oh, because they left this movement? Interesting. I don't think I'm going to try and land them. I think that's just a good way to lose soldiers. It's possible we shouldn't have raised everything. I was hoping raising everything might make him back down, though. But it looks like we're about to take Sinai pretty comfortably. Then we can probably incorporate some of these guys. Something like this. Or I guess we go after the Quasmid state in Russia. It's so much infamy to just take it straight up. I think it was 15 or something like this. So we probably just liberate Quasmid state from Russia. And maybe liberate more from that. So make sure we have declared interest in this region. And this region. Should maybe here. Oh, feels so good. This cutting off. Congo is mostly ours. Most of the rubber. Very fun. Alright, let's take a look at industry again. I think we left off on furniture. We really only have one place making food industries? Wow, that's a crime. Okay, so we already double tapped Buenos Aires, so don't think we have that integrated. Santa Fe we didn't add anything to. Also going to add it in the capital because we currently don't have it in the capital. And we have a ton of excess infrastructure here. Might as well just 51 this while we're there. So that's 41 and 51 Wild Wells. Well, well, well. We'll take the mortality. Getting this guy closer to being happy. We're double happy with this, although we really don't need the money, so this investment pool, we got quite enough investment pool transfer without them. So I guess maybe we could even consider just starting to go like full Council Republic, like forget about the Industrialists. You know, try and prop up the rural folk instead. We're gonna stop bolstering. We're gonna start bolstering the rural folk instead. So we've reached a point where for our sanity, constructing a lot more is not exactly what we want to be doing, which is what going like full industrialist really helps with. Very important, if we had war reps on Austria, we would not be able to decay them below 0, and so they would never leave the war. Now we can decay them below 0 because we control the only war goal that's important to them. Why don't we have this guy also escort convoys all the way to Hokkaido? Kind of got 2 escorts and 1 landing guy. We will set them to raid the convoys though. Got the SOL rising. I guess we could attack this problem from a different angle. What do our people need? So services are already cheap. Clothes are cheap. Our people consume a lot of tea. It's not very cheap. Let's take a look at our population. I am guessing that if tea is expensive and people consume a lot of it, that they have a obsession. We're obsessed with coffee and tobacco. Shouldn't that be more expensive then? Alright, let's take a look at what crops we have down here. We're gonna make you make coffee. Set you on auto expand. You're already making coffee on auto expand. We'll just add 10. This places also can make sugar, which is important. So we don't overmake the coffee. You can make millet though. Put you on auto expand. Put you guys on tea, I guess? Also cotton might be okay. And fix some of that so their auto-expanding can actually take over. France is importing tools from us. Let's see, their conciliatory. Are we rivaling them currently? We are. We might be better off rivaling someone else instead then. And you see they decay below 0 because we are controlling all of the war goals. Could not be done if we had like release Hungary in there, which is the kind of the classic way to weaken Austria. But without the ability to get multiple fronts and with their... Oh, did they move their capital? They did. Is it back in Austria? It is. So they have a tendency to move it to Bohemia, which just takes longer to push into Bohemia than it does Austria. It's really annoying. But they moved the capital back, I guess. Maybe it's just that it's moving every time there's a revolution is the thing. I think we're probably going to want even more food industries, though. So where do we have a lot of peasants? That is incorporated. Alright. Singing a lot of Austrian convoys. Which might bleed them into like their third revolution in like 5 years. We'll see how that shakes out. But Austria is not the golden goose that they were before. And by not, I mean apparently still is. They're still quite strong. But they had an alliance, I think, with Russia that they no longer have, which was kind of a brick for us. What does Russia's alliance matrix look like? So we will have to fight China when we fight them. As well as we will lose our... We currently have a thing with the Sikh Empire. Well, I think the Sikhs are in our market, so they will get bricked out of our market, unfortunately. But, I don't know, it is what it is. Yeah, we don't like losing our convoys. A lot of ground to cover, though. Trade routes cannot get there anymore, so they get removed from someone revving. That's the reason. As soon as we research automatic machine guns, we're gonna swap PMs over. The reason being is we're not gonna really fight again in this war. We're just waiting for it to tick down. They've lost, but they don't even know it yet. Except they kind of do know it. Those are always insanely profitable. Kind of not looking to do the electricity yet. That's where we're producing cars. It's the only place we're producing cars. Do you have infrastructure issues? Is that why it says you're losing money? With the free trade party. We gotta clear the map. Nope, we're good. Okay. We are square. Maybe we swap up to this. More opium. This seems fine. Do have to pick a tech. We're just gonna click that so we're researching something. Same with that. Maybe we... Well, I was thinking maybe political agitation. I think paved roads would be fine. Political agitation's not spreading, which is why I don't want to go it. We could go defense in depth with the idea that we are going to get faster, like airplanes, tanks, these sorts of things. And it's tier 4 tech. I don't hate this. I think we're on kind of fighting only at this point, or this is our main focus. Wow, what a caked up looking guy. Except it's only, well no, it's like 3 states. Hudson Bay colonizes Idaho. Hot. Let's try and get these guys into our market. We like us in Ontario. Wow, they have 12 gold mines they're sitting on. We're just trying to incorporate them. Alright. We will turn that PM on as well. We'll take a look here, and we will build the Suez Canal. We'll put it at the front of the queue, and we of course will make sure it's subsidized for when it comes up. We'll also build a port, because that will be necessary. And some lead, because it'll be fun. Now we only need a few more. And we did swap PMs off over not too long ago. Now if we do liberate, yeah, 15 infamy, quite a lot, because we're like technically taking it from Russia because they're subject. New Granada's demanding that we not. But we can liberate them from Russia. And we... Does this make it so we don't have to fight Russia's... Huh. Why is it that we don't have to fight Russia's people then? Russia has an alliance with Sikh and several defensive pacts, but if we declare war on this subject, we don't have to fight Russia? I guess they can abandon them. But we want to liberate and then vassalize ourselves, I think. So we'll just do that. They are fearful. Minus 75 fearful. Wild. Now we can add other war goals, but we don't want to do any that incur any infamy, so it'll all be just kind of like liberations, like liberating Ukraine is a big one. Oh, Hijaz has a piece. Oh, Hijaz is in here? How's Hijaz in here? We have to wait a tick to see if they abandon. No, Hijaz is not. Okay, so can we vassalize Hijaz in here? No, we can just liberate. Oh, that's unfortunate. I don't think we can take their states, can we? We can conquer Hijaz. It's not a lot of infamy. It almost certainly doesn't go through, so we just get kind of wrecked on the infamy for no reason. But, it's just a little bit in case this war actually does pop off. How close is it to popping off? Minus 60. I've seen wars pop off at minus 60. They have a ton of reserves. God, if we could just, like, switch a turn, like, press a button that made us have, like, this much debt, just, like, 80% debt, we would do it in a heartbeat. I guess we will conquer all the Hijaz stuff. You know, because it does further the goal. I think that we just eat the fact that this is like, yeah. And then it's most likely to go through if we don't add any more war goals. That's my understanding. Hopefully they can sway someone to their side. So we actually get the fight. It looks like we'll actually get a fight. We might even take something down here. We'll put the trench rat on our front over here. I know mobilizing increases the chances that we'll have problems, which is why I'm not mobilizing everyone. Ooh. I think we join this on the basis that it makes it more likely that this war goes through, because now there's a Syrian involvement in Oceania modifier. And we don't really care which side we're on there. Can we join another play to help that? No, there's not another play to join. More than happy to give him a little juice. Let's see who looks like they're winning this election. Social Democratic Party, yeah. I think it might be the time of the Industrialists is over, the time of the Orc is to begin. And they sway Great Xing, it looks like. So now they're just uncertain. So now we do actually want to mobilize more guys in more spots. Specifically, we really want guys, you know. And I think now we can actually demand sizable war goals. I think we'll just stick to mainly releasing guys, but we could demand, like, more. And I think what the play here might be, actually, is to expand the military some more. Specifically, kind of wish we had another front we could make. Man, this guy's so much better than the other guy, though. But Intelligentsia, we're just gonna recruit him. Okay, how many maneuvers do we have? We have 88. And I think we have the stronger army, but not by much. But we will probably force China to release countries. Maybe Russia release Ukraine. I'm not sure exactly what's best here. I wish I knew. Okay, I think that we liberate Ukraine. Honestly, like, I just gravitate towards liberate Ukraine. Also because of a result of, like, not to be geopolitical or anything, but as the result of stuff that's going on. It's a little bit hard to not want to liberate Ukraine. Shipyards are fully employed, so why don't we up them a little bit more than they were otherwise getting upped. Although I really would like to make more. Well, it's more min-maxy to make them elsewhere. Let's see. Places that already have cotton. I think we're specializing cotton in Lebanon. So why don't we just... I'm not sure Zululand was specializing in cotton, but it is now. Yeah, let's get rid of some of this stuff. It's cotton time. Now, we do have a bunch of trade routes that are going to get bricked because we're fighting both Russia and China. So this is actually why we switched to, like, losing a bunch of money. So why don't we see if we're running any shortages? We're not. Our standard of living should also climb, though, because we're not exporting as much of this stuff, I think. Can we import in large amounts? Any of this? No, not really. Wood? Okay. Well, I take it all back. I don't know what's the exact problem. Just gonna scroll through, see what looks like it's gonna be profitable. Power plants, of course it's power plants. We're just gonna add 10 to all of these. We're kind of holding out for getting New York, but this will be fine as well, I think. Maybe do some of this. Maybe start working on a new one in Trabzon, let's say. Let's play a little whack-a-mole. We have some time to put in more. So let's do it. Shandog's right here. Yunan's down here. Formosa's the funny liberation. It's not the good one. Uyghur-stan, we can liberate some oppressed people. We can take war reps off of one of them. I think China has more money. But off of some of them, we could take it off of both of them. This seems fine to me. Have this here. We do want to enforce on some of these guys first and occupy them because they are war goals. And then I think we go up to 500 barracks, guys, as well, at least. So that's 450. But we have to keep it in the Arabia HQ because that's where all of our generals are. So that's 500 battalions. And then we can promote as needed. Looks like South Australia probably wins on their own. Let's go through and make sure we're making all the wood we can, because that was something we were getting from Russia. I think we were importing a lot of fabric from them, so our fabric... Let's see if we're just running any shortages off the back of having that. No, the war is not causing any shortages. Oh, we haven't... Their war hasn't popped yet. Whoops. Hopefully we get this war. This will be really nice, just full annexing Hejaz here. Who won? The Social Democratic Party, but... Can even do something like this. Everyone's so happy right now, man. Except them. They're pretty happy, though. Maybe we should be bolstering them. Oh, we can get him happy. With 3,400 indefinitely? I think I'm fine with that, actually. I think that'll kind of like pay for itself. We'll probably try and land with this 50 stack somewhere. I'm not sure who we're trying to enforce on first between these guys. I think this is China's HQ, or their capital. Let's take a look. So maybe we land China's first. Now let's land Russia's capital first. Now I think it's up here. Let's just double check. Is the capital state. Coastal, very nice. And we are looking for the 50 stacks, so I think that's just Habib. We get auto machine guns, the devil's paintbrush. Plus defense. If one guy gets stalwart defender. Indefinitely, we'll take that. And see this guy? We're gonna promote him. So he gets more guys, so he can handle this front. So that's a pretty important front for us. We have like 3 fronts here. See how those shake out. These we should clean up pretty quick and they should move on to other places. And I guess we will need to pause and deal with the construction queue, as always. Steel, not really that good. Synthetics, sure. Why not? Give us a little insulation against some stuff. These we're making. Chemical plants, whatever. Tooling workshop, some of these are auto-expanding. Let's just give the whole shebang to everyone. Tools are the great equalizer. These don't make any money, probably because fabric suddenly got really expensive. So we'll try and do something about the fabric being expensive. Okay, so let's take a look here. And alright, we're running a shortage of this. We can import some from the British, not a lot. Fabric is now kind of expensive. Try and get it from the British, Dahomey, French, Johor, South Africa. And then probably expand cotton in a few places. Let's finish it up in Lebanon. Let's go to, I think this place is making all cotton, but I think we gotta delete some stuff to make more cotton. Not exactly the most efficient, really not the most efficient. Holy shit, we're gonna delete a lot of millet farms. Sorry guys, you all got fired. Whoops. Is there a place that doesn't have so many good things other than cotton? Like this place has a bunch of stuff we would want to build. Really, we just need American territories. Alright, we'll just cotton here. And then maybe in a little bit in Beijing as well. Gotta keep an eye on things a little bit. It's gonna get a little rowdy. We do have leftover generals, which means we can promote guys that are in trouble. With the idea that by promoting them, they will just have more people because we have guys in reserve. Generals get moved. I think they're the ones down here. I think one of these guys down here we might move to actually deal with this war we're actually supposed to be helping with. To defeat the fascists. This is very exciting that we're about to get 2 off in this war, if we can swing it. Or we're about to release them and just straight up conquer the Hejaz territories. Interest group leader retires landowners. That doesn't interest us. They've been marginalized for forever. Don't think they're coming back. This landing pops off. And it looks like we're going to get the landing off. Which is going to be in their capital state, so they will be really not happy about that. And we kind of enforce all the places here. General moves somewhere else. We know not where. Looks like he's landing there. I'm fine with this pushing out and then going over here. This seems fine. And then us landing over here. Very comfortable. United Tribes. Don't know where that is. A big reason also, just to explain what I'm doing here when I'm deleting stuff and building a bunch of cotton plantations, is I'm trying to maximize the throughput bonus. And so it's just more efficient to only build kind of like one thing. Oh yeah, brother. We finally get a bit of this action. We will go women's suffrage. Which of course is gonna piss off. No, it doesn't piss off the industrial. Who does it piss off? I guess the petite bourgeoisie, but everyone seems kind of fine with it. You're a feminist. Oh, because everyone's a feminist. That would explain it. Everyone in government's a feminist. Yeah, that works. That really works for us. We're pretty happy with that. This works for us too. Really happy that that landing wasn't buggy. That was 100% for a second. Maybe we actually want one of these 40 guys. We'll let them push through here and close this front, but we probably want them over here. Figuring that out. Considering we landed in the capital for Russia. And we are just cranking through here. To actually apply some help for them. I guess South Australia, we also now want to invite to the customs union at some point. So let's start bankrolling them and check all of our bankrolls. So we haven't done that in forever. So they are just nervous about us. They are cautious about us too. They are cautious about us. Wow, no one likes us. Ontario, we can absolve it. In South Australia, we can absolve it. Declaration of the Rights of Women. 50% chance someone switches to feminist, or Sufa al-Shami gets more popular. Well, I don't really think she needs more popularity. Is she currently the leader, though? Yeah, so that would give us more authority. So let's just do that. Is this indefinite? No, it's just 5 years. Ibn al... And the industrialist becomes feminist. I think I like that because then we get their bonuses for longer versus her popularity for some years. Nope, he doesn't become feminist though. Tragic. bunch of generals move. I really hate when that happens. Usually it is some sort of calamity. When that happens. I think we're actually just going to move this 40 stack straight away over here. Just to make sure things run a little smooth and we don't lose this front. Everywhere else is pushing, that one's kind of having some problems. This is pushing real fast. Wait, they just have a 1 stack? That's some sort of mistake. I'm gonna quickly get occupied like that. Alright. Surprised we're not pushing a little faster given our advantage. Do not like infinite general moves messages. Really, they just give me anxiety. I think we have extra troops as well. We do not. They're not recruiting very quick. Yeah, that kind of happens. I think it should recruit slower. Currently, like, something you can do is, like, you recruit troops faster than you swap PMs. Someone in the comments, I think today, for me, not for you guys. We'll take just the... Do I really want this guy to get more clout? I don't think he needs more clout, so we'll just do this. A zombie uprising. It's kind of not a convenient time, as we're involved in this huge war. That is a lot of people on a front. Where did all our generals go? Some of them just get completely bricked. Okay, that's cool. Once he wins this battle, we might move him over here because we do not want to lose kind of the heartland areas. And we'll take this 20 guy and we'll have him move and push this front. Since it looks like they just have a 1 stack there. A zombie is right over here. Might need to recruit another general to deal with that. Russia's getting close-ish to, well, gotta maintain in here. I don't want to lose this, what we have in terms of a front here. It looks like we're pushing now. And the 100 stack's about to get here and should be very strong into this. Which notably they can swoop in and get the plasmid state from behind. We get a guy back who will be going somewhere. He's going over here. I'm gonna send him over here. Looks like we're actually just gonna lose all this. I don't think we can get there in time. Unfortunately, it's a small amount, but get radio. Let's turn that on. Mine radio. I don't like that this PM uses oil, but it looks like it's profitable for now. Oil's kind of cheap in the market. Yeah, very comfortably pushing into Russia. They're getting quite occupied. Importantly, their capital is occupied, so they'll accept, like, anything. We're gonna... I see a pocket that we can start opening up a new front with here. So we're gonna push... We're gonna put someone there. I can push, hopefully. Pushing here. Pretty slow going here in the Chinese front. I guess we're gonna land them once we finish up Russia. We gotta solve the infrastructure problem. When there's like white in here, I believe what that means is the place that's building it has like zero infrastructure or whatever, or very poor infrastructure. We get women's suffrage, fantastic, really, really good for us. Now, since these guys are just barely loyal, or barely +10, we just won't do anything to piss them off. Kind of where we've been in a little bit of a holding pattern. Kind of would not hate going Council Republic, though, if the opportunity presented itself, which would get rid of the Industrialists, in which case we don't care about their opinion anymore, obviously. Such a banger of, like, approval to a radical rate. 1.7 million radicals, and that's it. Just trying to keep an eye on all these fronts, just in case something weird happens in terms of like movement. I think we were kind of keen on destroyers into military aviation, but we could just go straight up aviation. It does give a lot more like provinces captured, like this type of thing. Yeah, let's do it. I think it's really inefficient to go this, but it's mainly because our goals in this run are like really winding down, and just being able to finish wars just a little bit faster would be nice. Except I can't bring myself to research this tech that I think is like inefficient here to research. Destroyer might also be no. Destroyer's not fine. We're just gonna do this. We're gonna get nat spread as well. We're fine. We're fine going ahead of time. Hate that it's split into fronts, multiple fronts. That we can't put guys on all of them. Although to be fair, we did put a guy on an empty front to like cruise through all this. So I guess it cuts both ways, huh? Russia, of course, is decaying negative, and the reason they can decay negative is because we have the capital occupied, even though we don't have the primary war goal. We do need to try and occupy China. It looks like we're starting to make pretty big ingress into China, though. I see glass is auto-producing. We haven't put any glass into the queue ourselves in quite a hot minute, so why don't we just add a bunch of it wherever it's sold, and then look where we have peasants. A bunch of excess peasants. We have them in Trabzon. We're going to add some there, and then we have some Santiago Incorporated. I'm not sure. Yikes, we get the percentages of death or whatever. We do not have, in fact, enough. Patagonia Incorporated? No, it's not. The problem is we do not have enough, what's it called? I want to say obligations, that's really not the word. We don't have enough convoys. I see some generals being moved. Just gonna pause and make sure the psychopathic AI has not ruined us. Yeah, this is like madness up in here. South Australia is trying to sway us against revolutionary. We just helped you, my brother. I guess we'll say yes, and then invite them to the customs union? Or something? And maybe we'll help them, maybe we won't, we'll see. Obligation from Ontario, I see that in the queue. Let's probably absolve it, because I doubt we can pull you in. I know we're adjacent to their market. In theory, we'd want to intentionally trade a lot of stuff to them, but kind of just focusing right now on just keeping the construction queue going and keeping track of the war, more importantly. I guess we'll just up Trabzons like little smattering. These never fail to be profitable. These do fail to be profitable. That is because fabric is so expensive. And so maybe we just have to, you know, go into the rural areas and expand the fabric ourselves. The cotton. You need an infrastructure. A lot of you just have the convoy problem. I wish the UI was a little bit more transparent as to what exactly was the problem. But whatever. Cockend is trying to get us to come in against... Well, we can't get a frontier, so we're going to say no to that. Unfortunately, so that means we might get Cockend bricked out of our market if Rev Cockend wins. Whereas looks like they're poised to win at least. Just slowly making progress here. Except, yeah, I guess slowly making progress everywhere. We are ticking because we did get this landing on the capital on Russia, so we're getting a ticking score. Of course, would expand construction, could expand construction. I think what we're going to do is, though, review the situation with our, this thing. Keeps getting blurry, not sure exactly why. But just call this an episode, because it's been going on quite long enough. This episode, we did take back Sinai. Take back. We never had it before, but we're using take back language, like a colonizer we are. We took Sinai, and we're in the process, and we got a really nice war that we're just going to take the Hijaz territory just straight up, and then release the Qasimid state, so all we have to do is vassalize Qasimid state and Egypt. Egypt is amicable right now, but we could end the customs union, and let's see, I think we also end the defensive pact to get them into the point where we can declare war on them, so we might be even doing all this next episode. You know, after we just vassalize Qasimid state, we might just vassalize Egypt. This would be very inefficient from an infamy perspective, but we might just do it. The more efficient way to do it from an infamy perspective would be to, you know, do a regime change and then get them in our customs union and then protectorate them, this sort of thing. But this is why often I don't really protectorate Egypt too often in runs, but this would be the way to do it and then vassalize them from there. But I don't think we're going to do that. I think we're just going to go bad boy and just take them and then form Arabia and then call it a day. So this should probably be the penultimate episode for Syria, and we just got kind of, we got this nice little war here, and we got lucky that these two guys were both involved in the same war, and so when we enforce, we'll have a pretty good situation. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and have a good one. Also, if anyone knows what like this blurry face business might be with my cam, I have no idea. I've tried to Google it, can't really figure it out. It just like doesn't focus. I think it usually happens at night, so maybe it's with the lighting. This would be like reasonable. Also, like, you know, if I do the hand thing, sometimes it fixes. If I like turn the light way up, sometimes it fixes. But this hurts my eyes. It makes it hard to read. And I don't mean the screen, I mean like it hurts my eyes, so it's harder for me to read like later in the day or whatever. Anyways, yeah, have a good one.